Next up, old bags. Now, before you turn the channel or write in about how disrespectful I am being, let me explain. The Old Bags Project is an exploration of being a middle-aged woman in America today. The idea is simple: pictures of women in their underwear with bags over their heads, often along with audio and video of women talking about their many different experiences at this point in life. Joining me to explain are the two women behind the effort. Faith Baum is an architect and mother of three from Lexington. Faith, it's good to meet you. Lori Petchers is a documentary filmmaker and mother of two from New York City. Lori, congratulations to you too. I read an article this morning, one of you or both of you or somebody said, the bags are an artistic way of representing the invisibility we are feeling. What's that mean in English?
It means that when a woman reaches a certain age, probably post-fertility, that she moves through society and is basically ignored. Not necessarily by how she looks, but just by virtue of her age.
Yes, because we're young woman obsessed. Is that the notion?
Yeah, and we can walk on the street with a bag over our head, and we sort of feel like nobody would see us. So there is that, so it sort of represents it too. And yes, it's being all age obsessed in this country.
And what's the point of I mean, you've started to explain the bag thing. From me, and I'm told this is I'm the first male to interview.
You're the first man, yeah.
Uh-oh. But you know, when you see the bag, I don't know if this is the purpose, you don't look at the person's face, which you ordinarily do. You're sort of forced, for lack of a better verb, to look at the woman's body. Was that part of the deal?
That's the artistic intention, very, very strongly.
Why? What's the point of that?
Because we're saying that people don't know what a middle-aged woman's body truly and really looks like, that most of what we see has been photoshopped, airbrushed, etc.
You know, one of the things that I also read you say, I don't know if it's said in here, I can't remember if I just read in an article, this is not one of these we're all beautiful kind, but why? Isn't that like a good thing, we're all beautiful? Isn't that the Lena Dunham kind of notion?
Well, it sort of legitimizes the idea that you have to be beautiful to matter. Like, beauty is what matters. Like, this is beautiful, so it matters. No, we just exist. We're here. We're thoughtful. We're smart. We have all this other stuff going on. We don't have to be beautiful. I mean, yes, a lot of women are beautiful. It's the eye of the beholder, all that. But you don't have to be beautiful to matter. And that's sort of what we're sort of saying.
And that concept of everyone has to be beautiful can be very daunting for a lot of people, and takes a real internal toll.
How am I doing as a male interviewer so far? Okay.
I think you're on target.
So far, so good.
You're on target.
What's the genesis of this deal? How did this come to be, Lori?
Okay, it started when I was turning 50. I made another film about being middle-aged. I interviewed all these women about being middle-aged all over the country. And then Faith lived next door to me, and we sort of would get together, and I'd tell her what these women said, and we'd sort of talk about it, and we feel like this, we feel like this. And we came up with this idea that we should do this art project.
And saying I could walk around with a bag over my head.
Right.
And then we started thinking we should photograph and show people what women look like naked, and that we would do this naked.
But then we couldn't get people to do it naked. So yes. Hence the bra underwear.
So what's the common reaction? I mean, when people see this, what's the reaction, and how different? Which one of you has a daughter, right? Are you the one? Who is the daughter?
Neither of us have a daughter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One of our women, I think, in the who was in the article might have had a daughter.
Okay, so what's the reaction of contemporaries of yours, and what's the reaction of young women to this project?
I thought contemporaries of ours would strike a nerve. Young women, I have been surprised, but how they've reacted.
Yeah, I think it's part of this whole body positive movement, where we're sort of legitimizing what they're saying, just in a different way. We're dealing a little bit more with ageism and that sort of thing. But I think we're also saying it's okay to be who you are, the way you are. And you don't have to conform to any norms.
And the other issue is happily ever after. Young women want to know what's going to become of them. You know, we push them up to the point of, have a kid.
Yeah.
So who's the harshest judge of women? Is it men? Is it other women? Or is it the woman herself? Who takes number one? It is. I mean, isn't the old line about the harshest critic of women are often women, whether it's in politics or appearance or whatever?
Yeah. All I can say is that after every photo shoot, every woman walked up to the camera and went, "I hate my," could fill in the blank.
Yeah, about themselves?
Yeah.
Even after participating in this thing?
I think there is a lot of yes, we put ourselves down a lot as women, and I think that we were sort of raised in a society where we felt we had to be better. And this is just sort of the woman themselves. I don't know if it's so much the outside coming in, as we are the outside. We create our society.
You know, one of the things people will notice, by the way, the book is great too, the videos, the whole thing is great. So one of the things that I'm embarrassed to say, it took me a couple of minutes to pick up, the bags are not just like your bags at your Stop and Shop. For the most part, they're bags from fashion kinds of joints, right?
Yeah.
So what's the point there?
that women are considered the biggest, middle-aged women are considered the biggest consumers right now. And a lot of advertising and media is directed at us. And that also, begins to define us about who we are.
Did you have to buy these? I mean, did you have to go and buy some at these stores?
We went to malls, and Faith was really good at like kind of coercing them to give us bags. So we got them from malls. Some women bring their own bags. But another point about the bags is that everybody recognizes the logos, and the logos really speak to people. And that sort of says a little bit about our culture, too.
Very much about our culture.
How do you measure success here? I mean, people are talking about this. You're getting a lot of play. How do you know that you've succeeded? What does success mean here? Starting with you.
Well, we last Thursday had a presentation at Carey Memorial Library in Lexington, and women stood up and began to talk about how they felt about themselves. And I think, to me, hearing those ideas aired was, for me, very rewarding.
Same deal with you?
Yeah, that and the fact that, like, having it actualized. Like, we had this idea, we did it. We did the photo shoots. We got all these women. They kept on coming. We had shows. Hopefully, we'll have more shows. And that's sort of very affirming that
we're trying to find a publisher for the book. We're hoping to get a big show about this, and we love the way it strikes a nerve to our audience.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.